Hi, it's a Lipstick Gal. Thanks so much for watching today. I pulled out all of my Merit lipsticks and I tried to pair them up as close as possible with something from the Lisa Eldridge line. Now, Lisa has 4 different formulas in bullet form, and I'm only using bullet lipsticks today, so don't expect to see any of the Gloss Embrace or the Velveteen Lips, which are the liquid lipsticks. Somebody asked for this video and I thought, oh, how fun. There have been several times that I've had people ask me, how close is this one shade in Lisa Eldridge to this Merit shade? And my goal today is to show you what the comparisons are. I am going to start with the lightest shades and work my way up, mainly because if I go like all the mattes, my lips are going to get stained from the bright reds. I'm going to save those for last. All right, I'm going to start with the newest formula from Merit. This right here is called the lip blush. This comes in their holiday set. It's called the dress code set. And this is a beautiful sheer matte hydrating lipstick. This is in the shade Du Jour. I'll do this side with the Merit and the other side with the Lisa Eldridge. Out of all the lipsticks in my collection, and I have nearly every single one that Lisa makes in bullet form, this was the closest. So here is the shade Du Jour from Merit, and I am comparing it to Epanoui in the Balm Embrace from Lisa Eldridge. If you're looking at the swatches, this is Du Jour and this right here is Epanoui. I feel like Epanoui has a little bit more of a pink to it, and this has more of a purpley kind of cool tone to it. On the lips, they look very similar, with the exception of there's more shine on the side with the Balm Embrace from Lisa Eldridge. I love this new formula. This lip blush is beautiful. One thing I did notice is if I twist it all the way up, you'll see that there are some lines on the back here, and that is because when I have it pushed down and I'm pressing on it and I'm applying it to my lips, I find that the bullet itself is getting pressed into this portion here of the container, and that makes me think this is a softer lip formula. And you're going to want to be careful. If you have this shade, if you press too hard, you might break it. I would hate for that to happen to any of your lipsticks. So if you have this new lip blush, just be careful. I'm not going to swatch it on my lips for you, but I did also want to see what it was like next to Sunday Matinee and Velvet Petal. Velvet Petal is a little bit more pink. It's not quite as purple as this, but I feel like this is the closest, but Lisa's shades tend to lean a little bit more on the bright side, especially when it comes to these full pigment mattes. The next Merit shade I have for you is from their satin lipstick line, their signature lightweight lipstick. This is the shade Baby. This is the one that I've used the most. I've actually lost the imprint of where it says Merit. I love this. This was one where I couldn't find something that was really close. It kind of was like 6 of one, half dozen of another. If we're leaning more into the nude side of this lipstick, I would recommend Spirited Away from Lisa Eldridge. I definitely feel like we're getting a little bit more pigment from the Lisa Eldridge. This has a really interesting kind of gray lean to it. If you're looking at it, Baby from Merit is definitely cooler. This has a little bit more rosiness and warmth to it. They're very different texturally. There is more slip and more hydration to the Lisa Eldridge, although the Merit lipstick is not a slouch in the least. I really love the shade Baby, and I wear it all the time. Hence the fact that that Merit imprint in the bullet, she's gone. Another one that I thought would be kind of interesting, this one is called Rose Official, and this is kind of leaning more towards the pink side of this, because if you're looking at this, there is kind of like some mauve pinkness to it, but this is less like this shade here. So this is Baby from Merit. This right here is Spirited Away from Lisa Eldridge, and this is Rose Official. Next lipstick I'm going to try on for you is the shade Bespoke. This is new from the dress code lipstick set, and this is a beautiful soft brown shade. The closest Lisa Eldridge I have, and this one is so close, is Meet Me in Berlin. This right here is Bespoke. This is Meet Me in Berlin. Meet Me in Berlin tends to be just a hair cooler. There's a little bit more of a pink lean to this. This definitely has more of those chocolatey shades to it and is a little bit cooler overall. And I feel like you can see that here. This is the Merit side and this is the Lisa Eldridge side. One that's really interesting and rather close from Merit, and I think I'll just plop it on here, is the shade 1990. So there's 1990 right here. Let me take off the Lisa Eldridge so we can see what Bespoke looks like next to 1990 on the lips. I feel like this one is the coolest out of all of them. And on the lips, if you have 1990, I don't know that you need Bespoke. Bespoke is not being sold individually, but it is in that set. Or if you had your eye on 1990 and you just bought the dress code set, I think you're good. I mean, it is a little bit pinkier, but they're very, very similar. And they're really pretty, easy to wear, neutrally brown leaning lipsticks. This lipstick is the shade Aperitif. This is a shade that Merit no longer sells. It came out for holiday in 2022 and then again was re-released in summer of 2023. That's when I picked it up. I fell in love with this lipstick shade. This is such a beautiful red. This one from Lisa Eldridge is Palazzo and it's almost a dead on identical shade. So we've got a little bit more warmth in the one from Merit. This is Aperitif, this is Palazzo. Palazzo has a little bit more of a cool lean to it, but they're very, very similar on the lips. If you tend to like things that have a cooler lean, I would go with Palazzo from Lisa Eldridge, but Palazzo only looks cool here compared to how warm Aperitif is. Aperitif is a beautiful warm leaning red. I really, really, really like this formula. Super comfortable. I don't feel like you can go wrong with these. The other thing I'll mention is Merit lipsticks are $26 a piece. Lisa Eldridge lipsticks here in the United States are $36 a piece. I wouldn't say the formulas are similar at all because they're very different, but if you're looking for a similar color. Now, the one thing I will tell you, I love the Merit lipsticks in both, well, I guess all three formulas that they have out, and I love the Lisa Eldridge Bullet products. They're my favorite lipstick, hands down. So if you're looking for a less expensive version of this and there's a similar color, I'd pick up the one from Merit because they're a little bit easier to come by. You can always go into a brick and mortar Sephora and see what they feel like, what the colors are like, what's best going to suit you, and find something you can take home with you that day. Here's one I haven't worn in a long time. This one is called Cabo. It's definitely an orange lipstick that has a little bit of a red feel to it. The closest one I could find in Lisa Eldridge was one of these Balm Embrace lip products, and this one is in the shade Red Curve. Here is Cabo from Merit. Here is Red Curve from Lisa Eldridge. Here's what I want you to know about the ones from Lisa Eldridge that are these Balm Embrace. They feel amazing on the lips. They have a really nice vanilla scent to them, every single one that I have. Some people have said that they have ones that don't smell good. I'm so sorry. Every single one, I have all 5. They smell amazing. There's no scent to the ones from Merit. They just smell like a lipstick. Okay, keep that in mind. But the one thing that's important to note, if you are like me, I'm going to be 50 in January. My mature lips love this shade because it's nourishing, it's hydrating, it's beautiful, but it travels. This red shade I cannot wear without a liner. I can wear Cabo without a liner. Cabo is a little bit stiffer in formula, not stiff in a bad way. It just is not quite as glossy and shiny and prone to traveling because of its emollient level. This is so emollient, so emollient. If I wear this, give me 20 minutes and it'll be like spidering out in all of my lip lines. So just keep that in mind. If you tend to be a mature lip person who doesn't like lip liners, because you can mitigate all of that with a lip liner with this product here. I find sometimes I need something I can slap on and get out the door. I don't want to have to hold anybody's hand. I don't want to have to use a bonus product if I don't have to. So if I'm looking for this shade, I'm more likely to opt for the Merit than I am for the Lisa Eldridge. Although in the lighter shades in this formula, I've been using them like chapstick. This is the last Merit lipstick that I have in this cream formula. This one here is called Lavue. The closest that I could find in the Lisa Eldridge line that you can still purchase is this one here. This one is Metropolis. It's from the Balm Embrace line. There's definitely more pigment to the one in Merit in Lavue, but if you're looking at it, this right here looks rather gray and a little purpley, but on my lip, because there's that natural pinkness to my lip, it has a very different look on the lip than it does on the back of my hand. Another one that's very close, but I didn't want to swatch for you on the lip, is because it recently was discontinued, and this is Lisa Eldridge Night Thoughts. It's definitely more of a purpley plum tone, where this is a brown that has some of those berry tones in there. This one is so much cooler. There's a lot of earthiness to this. I wouldn't say that this is even really close, but if you were curious and you wanted to know how Night Thoughts kind of stood up to the rest of them, very, very different. Let's move into the matte lipsticks from Merit. One of my favorite things is that the cream lipsticks have this kind of amber colored tube, whereas this one here is more like a smoky quartz, so you can tell them apart which one you're picking up. Same thing is true for the lip blush. The lip blush is in kind of like this honey colored packaging, where the component is the same, just the color of the outside is different. I'm going to throw on this one. This is Classic. This is the lightest matte shade I have from Merit. The closest shade in Lisa Eldridge is the shade Velvet Intrigue. This is Merit Classic, and this is Velvet Intrigue from Lisa Eldridge. One thing I'll point out to you is all of the mattes from Merit are on the sheerer side. I'm not saying that they're like the most sheer lip product out there, but there's less pigment to this than there is here. The Lisa Eldridge lipsticks are very pigment heavy, and I feel like you can see that because this side of my lip here definitely has you can't really see any of the natural lip color, where I feel like a little bit on the Merit side, some of my natural lip color does peek through. But I would say they're rather close. A little bit more pink here with the Lisa Eldridge, just a little bit more peach here with the Merit shade, but they're both a beautiful, soft, easy to wear pink lipstick. The next Merit lipstick I have for you is the shade Maison. This is more of your mauve, kind of like everyday lip color. The closest shade I can find in Lisa Eldridge is called Velvet Muse. This one's really close in my estimation. If you're looking at it, here is Merit's Maison and Lisa Eldridge's Velvet Muse. But again, I feel like you can see there are places like right up in here where it's not quite as opaque as the one from Lisa Eldridge. Now, I'm not saying that the Merit lipsticks aren't great, because they really, really are, but I love a Lisa Eldridge lipstick. My heart for Lisa Eldridge. I feel like the formulas are beautiful, they're comfortable, the colors are nuanced and different than a lot of other ones. I know that we're kind of swatching things here going, look, it's kind of similar to this, but there's always that little something extra, that little something that's slightly different. And it really makes me go, wow. Let me swatch another one for you. This is Velvet Fawn. Here's Velvet Fawn. It's definitely not as pink as Maison, but it kind of leaned in this kind of direction. So I wanted to show it to you just in case you were curious. Here's one that I love for fall. This is the shade Equestrian from Merit. It's a beautiful brown. The closest shade in Lisa Eldridge I could find is called Velvet Affair. It's really a little bit more difficult for me to notice the difference on the back of my hand, but on my lips, I definitely see that this leans just a little bit darker. This is just a little bit more middle of the road neutral, and they're both lovely lipsticks. It just depends on what you're looking for. Here's another one of the new lipsticks from the dress code set from Merit. This one's called Black Tie. The closest shade I could find is Luxuriously Lucent from Lisa Eldridge. This one is called Painterly. It's not the closest out of all of these, but it has more of the feel of this lipstick, even though this is a shiny, slightly cooler lip than this more berry toned one here. If you're looking at it, this is Black Tie from Merit, and this right here is Painterly from Lisa Eldridge. I had another one that really made me feel like, yeah, it's kind of in that same vein. This is Blush Lightly, and it has more of the blush and berry tones that we're finding here, but it doesn't have that little bit of like warmth and earthiness. This is definitely more of a cool toned mauve shade that's not quite berry, but we have more of that berry in here. Last two Merit shades I have for you are bright reds. I'm going to start with the warm red. This one here is called Vermilion. The closest one I could find from Lisa Eldridge is the shade Strawberry Shock. This is an insanely saturated lipstick. Here is the shade Vermilion. This is Strawberry Shock. There's definitely more of like a bright intensity to Strawberry Shock. This is a little bit more muted, and I think you can see that here on the lips. This looks a little bit more neon, has more of a coralline to it, where this is definitely just your warm red lipstick. Last red I have is the cool red. This is the shade Power. And from Lisa Eldridge, this is Velvet Duchess. This is the shade Power from Merit, and this is Velvet Duchess. I wanted to show you these next to the warm reds. So Merit's Vermilion, Lisa Eldridge Strawberry Shock. Here is Power and Velvet Duchess. I feel like it's really obvious on the lips. This is a much richer, deeper shade. And over here, it's definitely more of a red, where this can pull a little bit berry on my fair skin. I decided to go back and put on the lip blush, and this is in the shade Du Jour. This is the only shade that they have out right now, and I literally have my fingers crossed. Like, please, Merit, please release more of this formula. This lip blush is such a beautiful, lightweight, sheer matte, but still hydrating lip product. I have been using this so much. I have been keeping it in my pocket, been throwing it on, tossing it in my purse. Like, I really, really, really love this formula, and I'm hoping that 2025 will bring more of this for us from Merit. Thanks so much for watching today. I wish this was a complete comparison of every single shade from Merit, but I don't have every shade. I have 6 of the satins, 6 of the mattes, and the one new lip blush that I'm wearing right now. But I think I do have almost every single Lisa Eldridge lipstick. There are a couple that I think are recently discontinued that I don't have, and that's just because they're not really the sort of shades that I would wear. But I don't have all the ones from Merit because, again, those are ones that I know that I would never get around to wearing, and I don't want to spend money on something that I have just for comparison's sake. I want to have it and use it and love it and reach for it and have it get down to like a little teeny tiny nub and have to get another one. That's always my goal when I buy a lip product. I want to love it so much that I use it up. Here's where I want to know, are you a fan of Merit? Are you a fan of Lisa Eldridge? What are your favorite shades from those brands? And if there's any other comparisons in my lip collection that you would like to see, all you have to do is ask. Thank you so much for watching. Have an incredible day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.